Hi guys, this class is aimed at intermediate level. We've got a bit of a fusion between yoga and fitness, so we can have a nice all-round practice to get you nice and strong and flexible. Okay, let's start with a warm-up. Knees towards the elbows. Just starting off lightly, building up the heart rate slowly. Nice long breaths. Coming up onto the balls of the feet eventually, if you can. And then we'll just jog lightly on the spot while we do some nice big arm rotations. Big circles in both directions. And then a few shoulder rolls. Really important to mobilize the joints after you've warmed up. And the other direction. And then feet a bit wider than the hips. A few nice rotations. And the other direction. And then we'll do the knees, so feet and knees together. A few rotations with the knees. If you mobilise your joints before you do your exercises, the joints become much more shock absorbent. And the other direction helps you to avoid arthritis, where the joints are banging together too much, loosening off. Bit more jogging. We could go side to side. That's great. So let's do our sun salutations. Feet and knees together near the front edge of your mat. Prayer to chest. Inhale, prayer up, looking up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, right foot back into plank position. Exhale, knees, chest to the ground. Inhale, gentle back bend. Exhale, down, tuck toes. Pushing up to downward dog. So nice V shape with your body. Easing the heels towards the floor. Really lengthen through your spine. Inhale, right foot forwards. Exhale, feet together. Head towards the knees. Draw tummy in as you inhale, prayer up. Exhale, prayer to chest. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, left foot back first into plank. Remember, you don't need to use the knees, only if you want. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down. Tuck toes, pushing up to downward dog. Ease heels towards the floor. Relax the head and the neck down. Inhale, left foot forwards. Exhale, feet together. Head towards the knees. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, prayer to chest. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down. Inhale, up to downward dog. So eventually you're trying to get your hips up and back with your chest easing towards the feet. Keeping mouth closed as you breathe if you can. Don't worry if not. Inhale, right foot forwards. Exhale, feet together. Head towards the knees. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, prayer to chest. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down. Inhale, up to downward dog. Breathe into your ribs, your back, your chest. Inhale, left foot forwards. Exhale, feet together. Head towards the knees. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, prayer to chest. So let's take the left foot back. Drop left knee, top of left foot on the floor. Have your foot and your knee hip width apart widthways. And then ease hips down towards the ground. If your knee's going past the ankle, just slide your front foot forwards a bit. Maybe hands to thigh, maybe prayer up, looking up. And then hands to the floor, tuck left toes, step back to downward dog. Left foot forwards this time. Right knee, top of right foot on the floor. Ease hips down and forwards towards the ground. Maybe hands to thigh. Maybe prayer up, looking up. And then hands to the floor. Tuck right toes, step back to downward dog. Drop left heel down to the mat, right foot steps forwards, standing up. Right foot straight out to the side, heels in line, left heel away from you at an angle. Lunge into the right knee. Stretch arms wide, looking out past right fingertips. You'll notice with a lot of the classes I do that I generally start with the same few exercises as a base, just because it warms up the whole of the body generally, and they're really good postures anyway. And then we'll add some new things later on in the class. So right forearm to the thigh, left arm up towards the ceiling. Look towards left hand, chin in towards left armpit. Maybe left arm across the head 45 degrees. And then back up to warrior two, the arms wide. Right palm turns up. Left hand on the back leg, reaching back with the right arm, lunging into the right knee. Look towards ceiling or the hand. And then back to warrior two, the arms wide. Inhale, prayer up, straighten the right leg. Turn your feet to the left side this time. So you want left foot straight out to the side, right heel away from you at an angle. Lunge into left knee. Stretch arms wide, looking out past left fingertips. Nice long breaths. Draw the shoulders down. And then left forearm to left thigh, right arm up towards the ceiling. Look towards right hand, chin in towards right armpit. Maybe bring the right arm across the head 45 degrees. You'll notice I'm holding for roughly 3 or 4 breaths for these postures. If you're practicing on your own, you can build up the time that you hold each posture for. Just never feel strained. And then back up to warrior 2. Left palm turns up, right hand on the back leg, reach back with the left arm, lunge into left knee, look towards ceiling or the hand. And then we're back into warrior 2 with the arms wide. Inhale, prayer up, straighten the left leg. Turn your left foot parallel to the right one. Fairly wide stance. Interlace fingers behind you. Roll shoulder blades together. Lift the arms up towards the ceiling. So you're feeling a stretch across the shoulders and the chest. And then inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forwards. Top of the head towards the floor. Arms are coming up and over the head towards the floor. If you feel like you need some support for your back, just slowly bring the hands to the ground. If you've got high or low blood pressure, you might prefer to keep the head above the level of the heart, especially if you're prone to dizziness. And if you are, when you come out of forward bends, just come out very slowly. From here, use hands on the floor to support you. Bend into the right knee, lengthen through the left leg. Whole of the feet on the ground. Right knee in line with right toes. And then we'll come over to the left side, bend into left knee, lengthen through the right leg. And then back to center. Before lifting up, bring feet together a bit, soften the knees, draw tummy in, slowly coming up. So let's loosen off a bit. That's brilliant. So let's try this one. Body weight into your right foot. You could use something to hold on to if you need to. And then you really need to bend into your right knee. So left toes are just resting on the floor lightly. All the body weight's into the right side. Upper body is upright. Once you can bend that knee and feel strong and stable on the right leg, then bring your left leg up and across and above the right knee. Fold the left knee right back. Squeeze upper legs together. Okay, if you're really quite open in this one, eventually you would try and tuck that left foot beneath your right calf. But if that feels too much, if you've got any problems with the knees, then just keep it open. Now, if you want to add the arm bit, left leg is on the top, right elbow is above the left one. Fold the arms, take a prayer, shoulders down, prayer reaching up. And that's your eagle pose. If you need more stretch between the shoulder blades, Keep twisting the arms. And then slowly release. So you probably feel that in the right leg. It's a strong posture. Loosen off a little. Body weight into the left leg. Bend into that left knee. Upper body upright. Right leg lifts, comes up, across and above the left knee. Squeeze upper legs together. Maybe tuck that right foot beneath left calf. I've injured this knee, so I'm not going to force that one. Just going to keep it nice and simple. If you want to add the arms and you've got right leg on the top, it's opposite. So you want the left elbow above the right one. Fold the arms, take a prayer. Shoulders down, prayer reaching up. You could always just draw that left arm across the body if you can't lock the arms in this position yet. And then gradually release. Loosening off. So you probably feel that in the thighs. So we're going to loosen the thighs now. Grab hold of right foot. Draw right heel in towards right sitting bone. Tuck your tailbone under. And eventually you'll draw this right knee in towards the left one. And again, you could always hold on to something for balance. And then slowly release. Grab hold of left foot. Draw left heel in towards left sitting bone. Draw the left knee in towards the right one. And then slowly release. So I'm going to show you another nice strengthener for the legs. It's a bit like an ice skating move. So you step across into the right foot, bend into right knee. Left toes can just touch the ground lightly. Eventually they'll be off the floor behind the right foot. Then you step across, bend into left knee. Try not to lean too far forwards. Make sure left knee's in line with left toes. Step across, squat down into that right leg. Lift up, step across, squat down, lift up, step across, squat down. And you just keep that going. Keep tummy drawn in, engages your core. That's great, loosening off again. So let's do something for our upper body. We'll come down, it's basically a push-up. Most people find a wide hand push-up a bit easier than a closer grip, like a military position. And make sure when you've got your hands spaced apart, that when you come down, your elbows don't go wider than your wrists. So it might seem a bit weird going really wide with the hands, but I go outside the mat. So when I come down, my elbows never go past the wrists. You can start on the knees. Knees forward is a bit easier, back is harder. Make sure you're not dipping your back down. Once you're strong enough, you can lift knees off the floor, and we'll do 10. And if you're just starting out, you might find you can only come down an inch, which is fine. As long as you've got good technique, over time you'll get lower. Just watch you're not dropping the head down. Okay, so feet and knees hip width apart, forehead to the floor, arms back behind you on the ground. And slowly coming up. Okay, so from here let's come down onto our backs. Let's do something for our core now. So in the last video we were doing simple crunches. You could just do that again. Keep tummy down, hands on thighs. Head, upper back lifts, look forwards, fingers slide up to the knees, squeeze tummy down as you come back to the floor. If you want more challenge, stretch legs and arms out, squeeze tummy down, legs, arms lift, head lifts, upper back lifts, hands and feet or shins meet at the middle at the top. As you inhale, bring hands and feet to the floor at the same time. Squeeze tummy down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, come back. A few more, let's do 8 more, so we do 10 of each. If it's too much, just go back to crunches or even have a rest. And relax. Close the eyes for a few breaths. And then let's come onto our fronts. Let's do the back of the body now. So rest forehead on the ground, stretch arms out in front of you, point the feet away from you. Squeeze tummy up. As you inhale, lift the head, the chest, the arms, the legs off the floor. Bring the arms round to the back, turn your thumbs up towards the ceiling. So it squeezes shoulder blades towards each other. Neck is comfortable, just look forwards. You might need to come down and up a few times. Eventually, you'll just be able to hold the posture. When you turn the thumbs up, a lot of people do this. It's the wrong way. It won't roll your shoulder blades together. I'm going to turn them up this way. And relax. Rest a cheek on the back of the hands, big toes together, heels out to the sides, deep abdominal breathing. So as you inhale, feel like you're filling your belly full of air, so it's lifting you up off the mat. As you exhale, you're floating back down. One more nice deep abdominal breath. And then head lifts, hands by the chest, tuck toes, pushing up to all fours. So you might feel like you need a bit of a rest now. I'm going to do another set of push-ups if you fancy that. This is a slightly harder version. So you want your hands shoulder width apart this time. And then rotate your elbows so they point backwards. Start on the knees, don't dip the back down. As you come down this time, you've got to keep your elbows in so they brush across your ribs. So it's much harder. Do the wide hand grip if this is too much. If you need more challenge, knees off the floor. Okay, so let's try and do 10, but doesn't matter how many you do, as long as you're getting a good challenge. And then we'll come back. Let's do a variation of child's pose. Big toes together, knees out to the side, sat back on the heels, forehead to the floor. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Really regulate your breath. Feel like the top of your head and your tailbone are moving away from each other. And then slowly coming up. Let's loosen off the shoulders. A few shoulder rolls after the push-ups. So that's our legs, our core, the back of the body, pretty much covered. If you wanted more challenge, you could just repeat a few times. Few more squats, or the single leg squat we were doing, a few more push-ups, a few more crunches, or the scissors we were doing today. That's great. So let's open things up now with some nice yoga. Coming onto your backs, feet together just to get them level, then feet and knees hip width apart, hands on the ground by your sides. Press down into the palms. Inhale, roll your hips and your back up towards the ceiling. Press down and forwards into the feet, especially the heels. If you want a bit more challenge, interlace fingers beneath you, roll shoulder blades together more. And then slowly release. Hug knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side, easing the back across the floor. Okay, from there let's do a nice twist. Oh, we've got a crow in the chimney. Good sound effects. So arms out in a cross shape, palms face the ceiling. If you want a deep twist, keep your feet off the floor. If you want less, have them on the ground close to your sitting bones. Then slowly drop the legs over to the right side. Try and keep feet and knees stacked up on top of each other, working them back on top if they've drifted apart. As your body releases, relax shoulders to the ground. Once your legs are comfortable on the floor, which could take a few weeks if you're not used to this one, lift the head, turn the head opposite direction to your legs, rest the head on the floor. And if you want a variation, you could extend your left leg out to the right side. And then bring head back to centre, draw your tummy in before you lift the legs up. Realign spine on the floor, and then arms in a cross shape again, palms face the ceiling, slowly drop the legs over to the left side. Shoulders relaxing down to the ground, feet and knees stacked up on top of each other. Breathe your spine open. Maybe head in the opposite direction to the legs. Remember to lift it first before you turn it. That keeps the neck aligned. And then maybe extend your right leg out to the left side. And then bring head back to centre. Draw your tummy in before you lift your legs up. Realign spine on the floor. Hug knees. Rock side to side. I'm always nagging about doing twists, but you really can't do enough of them. We don't do enough of that movement in our day. So twists, really necessary. Okay, so hands behind the knees, rolling backwards and forwards. Find a nice rounded spine. Keep your chin tucked in. Skip this one if your back's not happy with it. Keep tummy drawn in a little. That's great. So let's come up to a sitting position. Draw soles of the feet together, knees towards the floor. Draw your heels in towards you. Now, if you're a bit like this, you could always have your hands on the floor behind you, press back into the fingertips. And you could also sit up against the wall if you really need a bit more support. So the first position is just to be nice and upright with your spine to begin with. If you're really open, you can open your feet like a book. And then the next position is to lean your upper back, not your upper back, lean your back forwards. You're just not rounding the back yet. So you might feel like you can hardly move at all. Maybe just an inch. And then the last of these positions is bring yourself upright again, then take your head towards your feet. So you are rounding your back for this one. Keep tummy drawn in, don't pull too harshly into your back. Keep it quite light. And then draw tummy in as you lift up. Loosen off the legs again. That's great. So let's come up to standing again. So this time we're going to do a squat. Take your feet a bit wider than the hips is a good starting point, but you really have to work out the distance between the feet to suit you. Knees in line with the toes, feet about 45 degrees turned out to the side, and then bring the hands to the floor. Come onto the balls of your feet to begin with, unless you're used to your squat. So eventually you can start pedaling heels towards the floor. You're always listening to your body. You don't want to strain any of the postures. Eventually you'll be comfortable, flat feet on the floor, upper body between the legs, head towards the ground. Sometimes if you're a bit tight in this one, you might need to just gently hold on to something that's fixed. You don't normally need much, just a couple of fingers, maybe under a radiator, as long as it's firmly fixed to the wall. And then when you want to go a bit further, a bit of a deeper stretch, you can bring your elbows just in behind the knees in the crease. Normally you need to take the feet a bit wider for this one, and then it's prayer to chest, and your upper body is more upright for this one, just looking forwards across the floor. And then when you're ready to come down, hands behind you on the floor, slowly roll down onto your backs. I would keep the knees bent to begin with. Take a few breaths. Then you can relax the legs down, loosen them off a bit. That's great. So let's come up and sit on our heels. Big toes together, knees out to the sides. I quite often finish with this sequence. It's just a nice one. So right palm on the ground, left arm reaching up and over the top. Bend into right elbow as you get lower. Make sure you're trying to keep sitting bones on the heels. This left one's going to try and lift up normally. And then press down into the right hand to help yourself up. Left palm on the ground, right arm reaching up and over the top. And then press down into left hand as you come back up. So we've already done eagle arms, which is what I often finish with. So let's just do this one. Bring right arm across the body with the left arm. Slightly different stretch. Good one to release the shoulders after the push-ups. And then draw left arm across the body with the right one. And slowly release. Loosen off the shoulders. Let's do a few half neck rolls. So chin drops down, Head rolls up one side just to the top, then back down the same side, all the way up the other side, just to the top. Couple more in each direction. That's great. Then we'll tilt head to the left side. And over to the right side. Gentle stretch for the neck. And back to center. So last one, press palms and fingertips together, elbows wide, draw heels of the hands apart, press the fingers gently down towards the floor. Really good to stretch the fingers out regularly. A lot of the things we do are like this, driving, using the mouse. And then gently loosen off the fingers. Brilliant. Well done, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed the class. I'd always recommend to do a nice relaxation after your class. If you're not sure what to do, there's one on the channel called Guided Relaxation, I think. So yeah, and I've got lots of ambient meditation music on there as well, and there's more to come. Okay, nice to see you. See you again. Bye.